Okay. Yes, but I want services. Your supervisor didn't give me any referrals, any help, any education, and that's a pattern.
Oh,
So
okay.
why would
Well,
she deprive me of any assistance, period? You
oh,
do,
well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry that you feel that way. What I'm happy to do, because of the circumstances and the discussion that you guys have had already, I'm going to have to send you over to her line, okay?
okay,
Um,
I'm not understanding why. What is the special circumstances? Because I think someone is sabotaging my ability to flee an abusive situation.
mhm.
I don't have a circumstance with her. She did not give me any referrals, any assistance, period. She told me to go to a homeless shelter to get assistance. She
Okay.
didn't give me any referrals, victims assistance. I told her there was police involvement. She gave me no referrals, anything, period.
Okay.
No
Okay.
organizations, nothing at all, nada. She told me she
Okay.
couldn't help. And that's what I've been getting for 5 years, ma'am. And I'm trying to get to the bottom of why each place I go to treats me the same thing, does sabotages assistance, and don't want to help me.
Mhm.
That's why I've been stuck in it for 5 years. My situation is a little bit more critical because police are my bullies and the abusers. I have multiple different false arrests. So what they do is they enlist multiple different locations to help sabotage assistance so I can never flee. And I stay stuck in it like I've been for years. And what I'm trying to do is build up a track record of how I've been getting treated. Place to place to place deprives me of assistance so I stay in this madness year after year. Why would
Okay.
I be forced to speak with the problem? I don't want to talk to her. Normally in situations before I got in this abuse, you can request to speak with someone else. Why would I be forced to speak with the problem? There's other people that can give me resources and referrals, give me education. Why would I be forced to
Well,
speak with her?
let me just say this. Let me just say this, because I understand. I can tell that you're frustrated. I can hear that from the sound of your voice. Now, if you do have a complaint over any of us or my supervisor, Miss Shelby, I am
I'm just
aware
not
that she
getting
also
help, ma'am. I'm not
directed
being
you
heard. I
that
called for
she.
assistance and I didn't get it. I was told that I was my call was going to get returned and it never did.
Okay, Miss
Someone
Clark.
I just called
Miss
out the
Clark.
blue. I'm not being heard, ma'am. I'm trying to communicate with you what
Okay.
happened. I called out the
Yes.
blue for
Yes, ma'am.
services and I didn't
I
get it. It's been
understand. I
sabotaged and you're
understand you're
talking while
trying
I'm
to
talking. That's rude,
communicate,
ma'am.
Miss
I'm
Clark.
trying to communicate to you
In
what
order for
happened.
us to communicate properly, I'm going to have to be able to also speak to you and direct you to the correct person. Otherwise, we cannot communicate
I
correctly.
was trying to
Okay.
communicate with you, ma'am, and tell you what happened. I called out the blue, ma'am, for assistance, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm
So
communicating with you what
here's my
happened,
best
and I
suggestion
never got
for
it.
you. Here's one of my best suggestions for you. If you do have an issue with the way that you've been treated here with the victim assistance unit, I suggest that you contact internal affairs. I am aware that Ms. Shelby has also provided you with that information. But based on the circumstances and based on the discussion you've had with my supervisor, I will have to transfer you to her line, and I am happy to send you over to her line, and then you can leave a voicemail if she doesn't answer. Okay? And then I
But
can
based
also
on me
connect
speaking with
with
your
her.
supervisor, I can't get referrals. I can't get any education. I can't get any advocacy. I'm forced to speak with the problem, like the pattern that I've had to endure years. Okay, I'm
Okay,
just trying to get enough
is your
evidence so this can
question?
end, ma'am. I've
Let me
had to
ask
endure
you
this
this:
five
the
years plus.
resources that Ms. Clark, let me ask you this: the resources that you're seeking, are they over domestic violence?
Yes, each place I'm going
Okay.
to, each location I go to, police have sabotaged my ability to get assistance. People have retract or sabotage services or referrals, education. So what I'm seeking is how do I get like an advocate that will call the police department and help me get out of the corruption with the police department. They're sabotaging my ability to flee
That's
abuse that they're a part of.
that's a good question. What I referred you to do then at that point is contact internal affairs here in our
No,
agency
I
and the
want,
towns
and
that
I'm
you
looking
have.
for an advocate that will call the police department. See, the police is
Okay.
sabotaging my ability to flee, and they're contacting people and sabotaging my ability for help. So I want someone that will call the police department, call them out for not investigating my reports, and a multitude of army, dozens of reports that they're not investigating. But what they're
Okay.
doing is they're
Then,
keeping me from
like I said,
advocacy and
then
support.
I can refer you back over to Miss Shelby. She'll be more than happy to assist you with that and go over the reports that you've already made here at the police department. But at this moment, that's going to be my direction with you, sending you over to her again. Okay. Now, if you have any issues over the treatment that you've received from our office, I'm more than happy to provide you with the internal affairs. number here
Well, I
from
have to go through
the
this years.
department.
I'm just building up a track record of how I've been treated and how places have sabotaged assistance and how a multitude of army full of people know who I am and how they network me and transfer me back to problems and sabotage education and resources and how I'm treated. So I'm just building up that track record so something can be done. So I've
I
had this
understand. I
history for five
understand.
plus years. So I'll see if
Of
I
course,
talk
and
to her,
for
ma'am.
documentation purposes, if you want to again report this to internal affairs with our department, you're more than welcome to do that. I understand that you've received that phone number from us multiple times, but I'm happy to
Do
give
you?
that to you again.
Okay, what's that number?
Okay, give me 1 second, okay?
Okay. Okay, and here's another problem. So, what I'm doing is I'm trying to escape police corruption and abuse. Police
Okay.
enlisted corruption and abuse. So, what the conspirators do is they tell me to go to the police for help. I have went to organizations to combat police corruption. I don't get my calls. So the solution is not to go to corrupt police. The solution is to give me organizations and agencies that fight police corruption, and I'm not getting the proper feedback. I'm routed
Okay.
back to the network, back to the corrupt police. So nothing is
Okay.
resolved for five plus years. My help is sabotaged. Police come in, interrupt, and a lot of times pushing and shoving, even at churches. I was drugged out of a church, my foot dangling on the ground and thrown hard on concrete, and nothing has been done. I was assaulted and arrested at a domestic violence support group. People looked, witnessed, and done nothing. Bullied,
Okay.
intimidated, and mistreated,
Like I
and
said,
year after year,
I
nothing
would
is
hate
done.
for you I would hate for you to have to repeat yourself over and over. And what it sounds to me is like there's a lot of complaints that you have over how police have
No,
treated
what I'm
you
not
or
being
the lack of
heard. This is
treatment
I thought for victim
that they've
services, and
provided
I'm
to you.
not
Miss
all. I'm
Clark,
just getting
Miss
interrupted and
Clark,
not getting any
I've already,
solutions.
Miss
I thought
Clark,
that you would
I've
be
already,
appalled that police
okay,
have treated
Miss
me
Clark,
like this
you
and not
keep
tried to talk while I
interrupting
was
me, and
talking.
I'm not able to communicate with you
Yeah, I
this
think that
way.
you're just
I've
interrupting
already,
vital evidence,
I've,
ma'am, and you're not
I've
really
already
being
provided you with the internal
compassionate.
affairs
I think
office
that you're
for the
just
whole
interrupting
police
vital evidence,
department.
ma'am, that would
If
get
you
if
want
by
to
you in your
submit a
position,
complaint,
this is for
please go
victims,
over to that
and it
office,
does shouldn't
okay? Is
change because
there
it's the police
anything
that's
that
causing the
I can do
problem.
for you aside from that? If
I
there's
think it's just
nothing
you
else
didn't
that
want
I
me
can
saying
do
any really
for you,
incriminating
I'm
things.
going to have to disconnect this
You're
call,
going to have to
okay?
disconnect the call, ma'am, because
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
police that assaulted someone and threw them now
If there is
outside on
nothing else that
concrete.
I can
Because
help
it's the
you with,
police
I
that
will have
arrested
to
someone at a
disconnect
domestic
this
violence
call.
support group. Is that why you have to disconnect? So they get to
Please
assault people
feel
and
free to
violate them
contact
with
the
no
Louisville Police
consequences
Department
year
and
after
Internal
year, rack
Affairs,
up
okay?
felonies
You
with
can
no
submit your
consequences.
complaints over there.
So they just get to call place to place to place and say, don't help her, and then disconnect the call when she wants to be treated like a normal human
Miss
being.
Miss Clark, is there anything else that I can do for you today?
No, just be narcissistic year after year.
Okay.
No one will catch
If
on
there's if there's nothing else that I can do for you
because she
today,
won't
I'm
get
going to
treated like
have
a
to
normal human
disconnect the
being.
call, okay?
She's a black woman. She's a sketchy past. No one. Hopefully, no one will care about her. They hadn't had
Miss
it for
Clark,
5+ years, man.
Miss Clark, you have a good day. Bye bye.
So, what I believe the police department is doing, they're going out. They are monitoring my phone in each location. They're having sabotaging my ability to flee. For the kind of person that I am, it's unbearable for me not to get education. I like to be involved and proactive. I want to be able to go to support groups. I want to be able to go to parenting classes. I want to be proactive and do things. So this is torture. I'm not the kind of person that just sit on the bystander and do nothing. So sitting in a homeless shelter on us doing this is torture to me. That's why I'm making all these phone calls and steadily each day trying to do something because it's hard for me just not do anything. And they're railroading me and preventing me from building my life back up like I want to do. Anyway, I've talked too much. I'm working on doing things differently.